So one time I went to this bar and this sloppy drunk older man asked to buy me a drink. I'm not really into older guys, I prefer a lower viscosity. But I noticed that he's wearing a Saxonia Thin watch. For those of you from Section 8, a Saxonia Thin retails for about $24,000. So I do some mental math in my head. Probably 15 years of stomaching his oatmeal cum until he drinks himself to death, and then boom, summer house in the Keys split between me and some estranged daughter that he tries to buy the love of, and I've always wanted a sister. So I put my hand on his old knee. Then I noticed that he was wearing a wedding band. So I said, "Oh, are you married?" And he said, "Yeah, been happily married 10 years now." At which point I felt like Margot Robbie in the infamous Wolf of Wall Street dinner scene, though obviously with much more sex appeal. The tension of an illicit affair. You know, though obviously I would never actually do anything with a married man. Not because I'm a girl's girl, but because it's much harder to break into a man's will that way. I would, however, rob them. So I keep my hand on his knee. Well, then what are you talking to me for? Well, my wife and I are actually polyamorous. And I said, "Have a good night, sir." What are my thoughts on poly? Well, God loves all his children, but I think poly people should be placed on a sex offender registry. And that's not discriminatory because poly is not a sexual orientation, it is a dark triad trait. Sitting your partner down and telling them you'll be fucking another person tonight, but don't worry, no kissing or cuddling and you'll be home by morning is not asexuality, it is sadomasochism. I consent. I consent. I don't. Men who wear wedding bands statistically pull more bitches than those who don't. You know why? Because they are social proofed. Women see a man that another woman wants and think he's got something desirable, or at the very least, probably won't kill me. A poly man, however, is not properly social proofed. If your own wife isn't satisfied fucking you, then why the fuck would I want to get in line? Princess of Pop, Ariana Grande, said, "Break up with your girlfriend, I'm bored. Now open up your relationship, I'd like to join your polycule." Because poly isn't sexy. Bring back affairs. Bring back lying to your partner's face. Have the decency to trash the hotel keycard and forge an alibi with the boys before coming back home to your wife. In an affair, everyone wins. The mistress gets a free trip and sexy lingerie, and the wife gets guilt roses when he returns and to slap the bitch when she finds out. But in poly, could you imagine your husband fucking another woman and you don't even get to LARP as the woman scorned and sock the slut? Instead, your soy husband asks you to film polycule TikToks with her so you can become poly TikTok famous. I used to think gaslighting your partner and telling them that you were working late at the office when you were actually balls deep in another woman was the most disrespectful thing you could do. But no, it's asking her to film a Q&A with your concubines debunking polycule misconceptions. How do you guys handle jealousy? Domestic violence, next question. Have some respect for your wife and keep your mistress in the shadows. Just kidding, obviously I do not condone adultery. Or poly. Thank you for watching. This is what your looks like on syphilis, which poly people are more prone to. Also, if you would like to support the channel because I am YouTube cash poor, my Patreon is linked below.